I'm Ruka, the Maiden of Cancer.
Hello every pony, today I'm going to take a look at Conception, which according to the Bible, aka MyAnimeList, is one of the worst harem isekais ever made. I mean, just look at this, it has a 4.5 on the site, and anything rated lower than a 7 usually means a show is hot. Now, I did give the anime a chance back when it first finished around 7 years ago. I watched the first 3 episodes, thought it was garbage, dropped it, and gave it a 3 out of 10. Was it the absolute worst thing I've ever seen? No. But without a doubt, it was super duper shitty. Now, does the show still suck, or was I being way too harsh on it before? There's only one way to find out, so let's see how bad Conception can be. So the anime begins with its main character Itsuki, and no, not that one. He goes on the roof to meet with his cousin and...
The thing is, I'm pregnant.
Huh?
It's true. I'm having a child.
Nigga, what? Nigga, what?
Yeah, so, that's one way to start a series. The main character's cousin reveals that she's pregnant, and I honestly thought that Itsuki was going to be the father. Shortly after this, Shrek's asshole opens up and transports them to another world, because why not? This all happens within the first 4 minutes, which again, just goes to show how crazy this anime is. After that, a purple Nurple monster appears, Itsuki somehow summons a sword from his hand, and then kills it. The two of them then meet up with the world's king, along with some horny-ass raccoon demon who tells Itsuki that he's the chosen one. Apparently, he needs to produce star children with 12 girls, which will then grow and become strong enough to kill all the evil demons in the world. And it turns out that the first girl he needs to fuck is his goddamn cousin? What the fuck is this show? This makes me feel like JFK. My mind is shocked. Why does Itsuki grow a sword out of his hand and all of a sudden know how to use it? Why is there a horny raccoon that makes my ears bleed every time she talks? Why does the king need Itsuki to have sex with 12 girls when he could just get stronger people to fight for him? And more importantly, why does the first girl have to be his goddamn cousin? This show is batshit insane, and with how crazy that premise is, you'd think it'd be good, right? One of the biggest problems is that Itsuki doesn't actually have sexual intercourse with any of the girls. Now, I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking,
I
John.
see the cards on the table. I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
Oh, come on, Mr. Harem Reviewer. This isn't a corno. Of course we aren't going to be able to see Itsuki do the funny with any of the girls. Now, yes, you are right about that, but I didn't say we don't get to see Itsuki get down and dirty. We do see glimpses of it, but right when it's about to get good, this happens. Okay, so get this. Itsuki doesn't actually have to stick a schnitzel in any of these girls' caves of wonders. No, instead all they have to do is physically touch each other, which also means they emotionally get attached to each other too. This all somehow results in a little kid popping out of nowhere, even though again, they didn't even have sex. Let me repeat myself from earlier. What the fuck is the show? This is an anime about making kids, even though no one ever has sex?
Yes.
Yeah, that's confusing, annoying, as well as insanely disappointing too. The premise is so dumb, weird, and over the top, but you know what? I enjoy shows like that. Just because something is dumb and weird doesn't automatically mean it's bad. As long as a show is fun, that's what matters most, although there's obviously other things to consider too. That being said, this is such a major problem since it ruins how insane the concept is. The main character's cousin gets pregnant, they both transport to another world, and then find out that they have to fuck in order to save everyone living there. Not only that, but the main character has to do this 11 more times with other chicks that he's never met before. That sounds like a plot someone wrote while they were snorting crack cocaine out of their toilet, which basically means it's goddamn awesome. But then right when you're about to say this is one of your all-time favorite shows, it hits you straight in the balls and gives you a gigantic middle finger. Fuck you, asshole. You thought Itsuki was going to have sex with 12 chicks for 12 episodes non-stop? Well, think again. He doesn't do it with his cousin? Hell, he doesn't even do it with anyone. That is some fucked up shit. You don't piss me off like that. Like I said, this could have been a solid dumb series like Kiss X Sis, Hajime Te no Gal, and Peter Grill. Hell, now that I think about it, this is basically the poor man's Peter Grill, since it's all about its main character pounding multiple women. Except this time, the main dude doesn't actually get to do it, because again, this show is... One common complaint I've seen is that this should have been a corno, and yes, I entirely agree. That would have made for a much better series. Do I think it would have been good? I can't say for sure, but again, it definitely would have been more entertaining than this. The thing that's also very strange is that this isn't even that much of an Ichi either. You can argue that, okay, yeah, it's obvious that we aren't going to see Itsuki do the funny with the girls. You can even say that Itsuki and everyone not outright doing it is fine too, although I still think that's a crazy take. But even with all that, how can a show about making kids not at the very least be an Ichi? Yes, there are Ichi moments, but they usually only last for like 30 seconds. Sometimes there's not even an Ichi scene in an episode, such as in episode 6. Itsuki and the blonde bimbo get on the bed, she jumps on him, it cuts to black, and it's just implied that the kid was made. Like, what the hickey? I watched the whole episode for that? They might as well have just played this. At the very least, give us an Ichi scene that shows the characters getting physically and emotionally attached to each other. Not only that, but have the scene be longer than 30 seconds. Like I said, there are Ichi moments that include these, but they're always so short, which is why most of them fail. So as an Ichi, it sucks, but what about as a romance? Well, guess what? That's also god-awful, and that's mainly due to there being... how many? Oh yeah, 12 goddamn chicks. Why make a 12-episode anime that has so many characters? This basically means each girl gets at most one episode dedicated to themselves, but you know what? That doesn't even happen. There's episodes that center on not one, but 2 girls, which means some girls get even less screen time. That is insane, but guess what? It gets even worse because it's revealed that there's not just 12 chicks, but there's actually 13 of them. Are you shitting me? Did they really think there weren't enough chicks in this 12-episode anime? Why are there so many of them, especially when most of them suck too? Ever heard of the saying quality over quantity? What's the point of having so many characters if we don't give a shit about any of them? Why not have it so there's only 4, 5, or hell, even 6 would be a huge improvement, even though that's still a lot for a short series. This is a common complaint with some bad harems, but this is easily one of the worst examples of this. Because of the overabundance of characters, almost all their arcs end up being underdeveloped and rushed.
Hi, my name's...
Besides the 12, or I guess 13 chicks, there's also this little fucker who's super annoying. All this raccoon does is goon over Itsuki and talk about sex nonstop, even though again, they don't actually have sex. Now the thing is, I like characters that are perverted. In fact, they tend to be some of my favorites, but when that's all there is to them, that becomes a problem. This is especially annoying since this raccoon gets a bunch of screen time. She's in every episode, and she's usually with Itsuki, or at least near him a decent amount of the time. If she showed up every once in a while for a quick gag, that'd be one thing. But again, she's in the show a lot. What's so annoying about this is how unnecessary she is. She's supposed to be here to help Itsuki get closer to all the girls, even though most of the time he seems to be doing fine on his own. Now, having a character like this isn't a bad idea, and does make sense since Itsuki is new to the world, so he isn't going to be familiar with certain things. But again, for the most part, he doesn't struggle that much, which leads me to another problem, which is Itsuki himself. Now, this is another common complaint with harems, which is that their main characters tend to suck. However, it's especially noticeable here since Itsuki is the only main character. Yeah, you thought his cousin or even the raccoon would be the main heroine, but no, there isn't one. This means that Itsuki gets so much more screen time than everyone else, which resulted in me disliking him super quickly. Itsuki is just as generic, bland, and basic as literally every other bad harem protagonist. He doesn't have any goals besides wanting to help everyone, and of course for him and his cousin to be sent back home. He doesn't do anything that's morally questionable since he always has to be the super nice guy that's a dumb little goody two-shoes mother trucker. Like, come on, be selfish, be an asshole, do something that makes you different from every other garbage harem protagonist. Wouldn't it have been fun for Itsuki to have some kind of morals and decide not to smash any of these chicks, even though again, he doesn't actually have sex with them? Maybe he has a girlfriend back at home that he doesn't want to cheat on, so he tries not to get funky with any of these chicks. This would sort of be another instance where it's just a poor man's Peter Grill, but again, at least it'd be better and more entertaining than what we got. Maybe Itsuki really likes kids and wants to spend time with all of them. The series would focus more on him being a father, which could be sort of interesting. But no, instead it's him getting to know 13 chicks, even 2 guys, and good lord, what is going on here?
Come on, let's move that tail.
I'm so vulnerable!
What? He fucked the raccoon? Why would he fuck the raccoon? Oh!
I can't. He fucked the raccoon. He fucked the raccoon!
Anyway, once Itsuki makes babies with all 13 girls, you'd think it'd end with all his kids stopping the demons or whatever the hell is going on in the plot. But no, instead Itsuki is told that the only way to save the world is by sacrificing himself, which is really dumb. Like really? They're going to go ahead with this bullshit plotline? Oh my god, guys, the main character has to sacrifice himself in order to save the world. I wonder what's gonna happen to him. Is he gonna survive? Is he gonna die? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Are you mad? Yeah. Why? Because I can't see my forehead.
Yeah, of course he's not going to die, which is why I hate these plot lines. When you raise the stakes to such insane heights like this, it's impossible to take them seriously. Do you really think they're going to kill off the main character? Well, School Days did.
I'll have a double triple challenge.
Not only that, but they also have not one, but two fake out deaths. The first is of the raccoon, which actually got me excited since I thought they might have had the balls to go ahead and kill her. If they did that, I would have been clapping, but of course they don't, and she's alive. Fuck you. There's also the pink-haired chick who dies, but then comes back at the very end because, why did they try to take the plot so seriously like this during the last 2 episodes? It's so jarring, and again, completely fails because of how unbelievable the stakes are. Who's going to watch this and think, oh my god, I'm so nervous about Itsuki dying. He's going to sacrifice himself and die for the good of the world, and there's nothing he can do. Oh my god, the dumb fucking raccoon died, and holy moly, the pink-haired girl who I forgot the name of died. I'm so sad, guys. Literally no one is going to be saying or thinking this, which reminds me of another problem, which is that this show is for absolutely no one. It's a bad harem, doesn't even qualify as an ichi. It's definitely a harem, but there's so many characters and most of them suck, so, that sucks too. It sucks as a fantasy, and isekai completely fails as a romance, and worst of all, it isn't even a so bad it's good show either, since most of the time it's just boring.
This is so boring.
So again, who does this anime appeal to? Fans of the game? Yeah, that's right. This isn't based on a manga or light novel, but instead from a video game that released in 2012 on the PSP and only in Japan. But then it re-released on PS4 and Steam in 2019 worldwide, so instead of 5 people that played it, now 15 have. Now I haven't played the game, nor do I ever intend to, since it's not on any Nintendo console, which automatically means it sucks, since Nintendo is lit and everything else is shit. There is a sequel to the game, which released on the 3DS, but yeah, I'm not playing that either because I don't feel like it. Anyway, is this show really meant for that one person who's played the game and actually ended up enjoying it? Maybe that one person is super duper rich and paid Gonzo millions of dollars just to make it only for himself. That would make a lot of sense, especially since there's no way it would work the other way around. There's no way in hell this is just one big advertisement for the game, since no one would be interested in playing it after watching this garbage.
Would you like to check out this yumminess? Then check it out here on the website.
Are you shitting me? They're outright advertising the website. They don't even care at all.
So wonderful. I would give just about anything to be in a hip, trendy, lovey-dovey trash pile show like this.
Okay, yeah, now I know they don't care about anything. They're blatantly advertising their website and are even self-aware at how bad the show is. I don't think I've ever seen an anime be this carefree like this.
Someone, get back there and start the music.
Anyway, is there anything in here that I liked? Well, to be fair, it's not an entire train wreck for 12 episodes straight. Like I already said, the first episode is so crazy that it's somewhat interesting and keeps you invested until the end. There's a couple episodes that are notably better and even somewhat watchable, such as episodes 4 and 10. These are mainly exceptions since both girls aren't half bad, although again, it sucks that these are pretty much the only times where they're important and get screen time. There's also episode 9 where Itsuki thinks he has to do it with a guy in order to get the 13th and final kid, which was so dumb it ended up being sort of entertaining. But besides these, there's really nothing else to compliment, or I guess not shit on. Conception is terrible. It fails in every genre and appeals to absolutely no one, which is why I'm giving it a 2.82 out of 10. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it and want to support me, you can either leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell. You can also support me on Patreon or here on YouTube by becoming a channel member starting at only 99 cents a month.
But shit, it was...
There's also a Discord server up that you can join using the link down below. Anyway, time to go work on my 7-hour review of the greatest anime of all time, Heaven's Lost Property. That'll be out eventually. Also, special shout out to Marvin Mack for being a super duper harem helper. Thanks for the support.